All right. I know I'm on. Make sure. Yeah. All right. Good. All righty. How y'all doing? Once again, I'm Brother Prater, and this is kind of, if you want to call it like a fifth quarter. Sorry about the noise, but just got done doing the podcast, and I want to come up here. I wanted to make sure that everything pertaining to the episode that I just spoke about, everything was out. But this is a separate video. This is a little bit more personal. Today, at 5 years ago today, at exactly 10:20 p.m. Sunday night, March the 3rd, 2019, I got the phone call that changed my life. And I got the phone call from my nephew that my sister was killed. And that I'll never forget the phone call. And it's ironic that I had just completed an episode of my show talking about strongholds. And I'll never forget, as I was praying, I kept hearing God say, the God of comfort. I am the God of comfort. And so when he was saying that to me, I was thinking that it was instructions to tell me, to tell you all, to tell us, those that were on the podcast. So just in case y'all go back and listen to it, it was March the 3rd, 2019. I began to speak about strongholds, and in the prayer talk about the God of comfort. I am the God of comfort. Little did I know that an hour later, that phone call and that word that God spoke, that he is the God of comfort, that was not just for us, that was for me. And just in case those who were on my Facebook friend list during that time, I didn't mention anything about my sister passing on March the 3rd. It was late at night. It was 10:20, 10:20, I believe, when I got the phone call. And first thing I did, I called my supervisor. Never forget, I called my supervisor to tell him I wasn't gonna be coming in that morning. I told him what happened with my sister, and I called my oldest brother to see if he knew, to see if he was gonna. Well, actually, at first I was trying to call my second brother, and then I ended up calling my big brother, and so he was on the way. So since I couldn't get in contact with my brother, one of the worst things I had to do, I had to tell my mother. But I would rather for it to come from me. And so, since, of course, my mama had us, and she knew how me and Sheila would represent each other and take up for each other, not just as kids, but even as adults, And so I told her, and what I did do, I told a few family members, told my church that night, and I wanted y'all to know Sheila loved her Facebook family. Sheila loved her church family. But what I did do, because I know some people, they can't handle bad news at night, and wasn't gonna fix it or solve anything. What I did do, I waited until that Monday morning at 7:40 a.m. to let the Facebook world know what happened to my sister Sheila. And I did that, and I felt you all's love, but also being honest with you, I felt y'all hurt. I was hurt. I was hurt. I was devastated. But, and it may sound crazy, and this is just me speaking, so I'm not trying to have anybody to diagnose me or nothing. No. I know who I am, and I know everything that God have said, and I don't have to have anybody to dispute that. But what hurted me more than my own hurt was the hurt of others. That hurt it. And I felt y'all hurt. I felt y'all love. I felt it was like the neighborhood community, David W. Carter's family was hurt. And this being 5 years, 5 freaking years today. And all I can say, there wasn't a day that goes by I don't think about her. I think about her often. We shared so much in our life. We shared each other's bed. We used to sleep in the same bed. Shoot, until I was 10, she was 9. And when when my parents decided to put us in separate rooms because she was a grown girl and I was a boy, I would have to sleep in a room with my brothers, and sometimes I would leave out the bedroom to go back into her bedroom. Her bedroom was actually our bedroom at first. So we would share a lot of things together, and then even as adults, we were more than brothers and sisters. We were friends. Matter of fact, the night of her getting murdered, I had called her that night. I had the house to myself. I was calling her to see if she wanted to spend the night. Which was uncommon. You did that all the time. Matter of fact, sometimes I would spend the night over there just to kick with my sister. And so, she didn't answer the phone, but she ended up texting me, and I knew it was her. So just to let y'all know, it was her. We would say certain things, and of course, we had this quote unquote twin intuition. I would say, how do you feel? And you better not be on no date. And she said, I'm fine. Then she put in bold letters, I am LOL. And then her last post, her last text was, don't forget to tell Mama I called, because I had spoke to her earlier that day. Spoke to her over the phone. And said, okay. And I was going to say, take care and I'll see you tomorrow. I never told her why I was calling. I just, when she was on the date, I was like, okay, well, I'll let her go ahead and I'll just see her tomorrow at church. And I was going to say, I love you more, which, I said, okay, take care, I love you. And she was like, I love you more. But this time I was going to say, love you more, and then let her say, respond back. But I didn't. And then I sent an emoji, and the emoji was a peace emoji. Never done that before, but I decided to go ahead and do it. And then that night, I didn't sleep well. I did not sleep well. And when I woke up that Sunday morning, I felt miserable. I felt like the worst breakup ever happened. And I was so hurt. I'm sorry. I was so hurt. I wanted to make sure that I was online. But my heart was hurt. And went to church, and it was weird. Matter of fact, I remember I was in Sunday school class, and I wrote down, instead of today's date 3/3/19, I wrote 3/11/19. Like, now I crossed it out. I'm like, oh my gosh. And little did I know, my sister, my sidekick, my friend, was killed by some loser. Yeah. anybody that put their hands on a female, and also any female put their hands on guys, they're losers. Yeah, she was killed, domestic violence, and so with that, it's been 5 years ago, but it seemed like yesterday. And so with that, me losing an important person in my life, one of the top 3 people in my life, other than God. You know, my son, my parents, my sister. I love my brothers. But all my brothers know, me and Sheila, we were like this. My classmates knew me and Sheila was like this. I'm going to tell you this. This is something that I had to learn. And God showed me this when I had to give a message October of 2018. And I was preparing a message, and the message I spoke about was when Moses hit the rock. And it was earlier in that sermon that God told Moses to hit the rock. But then later on, God told Moses to speak to the rock. And instead of him speaking to the rock, he hit the rock. And he was already frustrated with the Israelites and all this and all that. But based upon reading the background and everything, I began to realize that Moses was not only frustrated with dealing with hard-headed Israelites, complainers, but he was also, he was also grieving. He was grieving because he lost one of his biggest supporters, his sister Miriam. And so fast forwarding from October 2018 to March 2019, that moment I became Moses, and me losing my Miriam, Sheila Prater. And that's what I always call her, because we were classmates too. You know, when I was in kindergarten, when I was in the first grade, she was in the kindergarten, and then she got bumped up from the kindergarten to the first grade. So we were together from the first grade on up to kindergarten. We had some of the same teachers. We even had some of the same classes together, and we would cheat off of each other. So you know, we would always acknowledge each other by our first last name. Sheila Prater. She would call me Junebug, Charlie P, or whatever when we were in school. So now, you know, in graduating and being adult, she would call me Junebug, or she would call me brother. Even though she had several brothers, but I was brother. And so with that, you know, I miss my friend. I miss her. Now, some people, like I said, and I'm gonna keep real because this is my show. But there are some people. Oh, you need to get over her. You know, first of all, somebody who tell other people they need to get over, they're very insensitive. And I tell people, you need to be mindful of what you say to people, and you really don't know what a person think or how a person is. And some people that be saying you need to get over are the main ones that ain't got over themselves. So yeah, I do understand God is the keeper, God is the sustainer, and I know the purpose and plan God has for me, and I know there are some things I don't know, but I know Him. So main thing is to trust Him and all that stuff. So with that being said, you know, I learned I don't even listen to some of the folks. Some of the folks, you know, they can think whatever. The main thing of it is God knows, and the people that love me, they know. So with that, Sheila loved her people. Sheila loved people. Sheila loved to minister to people. And I met so many people that I did not know that knew me through Sheila. And there's been times where I meet people and they look at me and they, you know, they say I look like somebody that they know or whatever. Then when they find out who I am, they just love me, love on me or hold on to me or something, you know. And also I got a lot of love, and I want to acknowledge this to my sheriff department family. There was a lot of love that I received and my family received. And I wish that I had, in my sister's service, I wish I was able to speak to everybody. I wish I was. I wanted to so badly to tell them thank you. Um, it was so many people. My brother told me about it and saw it. I saw a few people. There were so many people that was on guard. That was, and I was trying to capture everything in my head, each person's face, to tell them, and representing not just my family, representing Sheila, thank you. And she would have wanted me to. I know that for a fact. And so with that, it's, I appreciate the love. And right now I am working on, I'm working on a project that I should be done within 24 hours. And then I'm going to be working on the project that me and Sheila was supposed to be working on together. And hopefully I'll be able to share with y'all in the next couple of weeks what it is and it being complete. But I just want to come over here and to acknowledge, and not just acknowledge me losing my sister, but the same day of me losing my sister, my classmate, my friend, Tracy, I'll say, Tracy Cotton Nave, she lost her mom. Her mom was a sweetheart of a young lady. And when I was hurt, I read she lost her mom, and that hurted me because once again, someone I care about was hurt. And, me getting a chance to meet her mom, and, her mom was sweet, Tracy, sweetheart of a young lady. And I heard it for her. And, I wanted to dismiss how I felt and reach out to her to let her know I'm here for her. And since then, we have leaned on each other. And Tracy, you have been such a great, great help. And meeting your father, find out that your father works with me, and him being a sweetheart of a guy. And I'm praying for you. First of all, I'm proud of you, and congratulations on your achievement this week. And thank you even for. I thought about Tracy this morning, and I was ripping and running, totally forgot. I thought I reached out to her, and I totally forgot. She ended up reaching out to me, and I was, oh man, and we have something in common, March the 3rd. And I appreciate you always, always. And who you are today is who you've always been. And I thank you and love you to life. And then another coworker of mine that went to school, that works with me at the sheriff department, he lost his sister, Mr. Mustafa. He lost his sister the same day as I lost mine. And and I'll never forget the one place that I had to go to. I know I couldn't stay, but a couple of days after, Sheila passed, and I was getting ready to pick up my dad. But right before I went to go pick up my dad, I wanted to stop by my job at the sheriff department. I wanted to go into detail to tell everybody thank you, and to let them know when the surgery, but most important, tell them thank you. I had to be around my work family, even if it was for 5 or 10 minutes, to tell them thank you. And when I received a lot of love, a lot of hugs, a lot of kisses, and something about Mr. Mustafa, he was an older gentleman. When he hugged me, it was tears, and I was picking up. This is tears of hurt. This man did not know my sister, but this was different. And later on, my supervisor told me that he lost his sister the same day I lost mine. And I felt it. I'm like, man, I knew it was something. And so, Mr. Mustafa, my prayers, my love is for you and to you. And so, and we would often talk, March 3rd, finna come, tomorrow is March 3rd, I'm praying for you, bro. I'm praying for you, pray that, And so, with that being said, I want to just come up on here to acknowledge, I'm not focusing on her death or how she died. I'm focusing on her life. And like I said, during her service, I thank God and I thank my mom and dad for allowing me to have such an awesome sister, and for me to be the one of the brothers of Sheila, but of all the brothers, me being the one that got a chance to have some time with her. And you know, me and Sheila, man, it's so many stories I can tell. And you know, if y'all ever see me, don't ever feel like, I don't want to bring her up. And I understand. I totally understand. But I'm giving y'all permission. Y'all welcome to. It doesn't hurt me to talk about Sheila. Like I said, we spent our whole life together. You know, and I have some unique stories that only her and I have. You know, but with that being said, that's one of the reasons why I do what I do. And I had actually joined this domestic violence or victims crime unit. I joined that. I joined that place a couple of weeks before she passed. A couple of weeks before she passed. So my attention was always on, victims and ending domestic violence and toxic relationships. And like I said, we was hoping doing it together. But then after she passed, it gave me a more of an urgency to do it. So that's why I'm passionate about what I do. And I don't want anybody to go through what we went through, what my family went through. And normally I don't like to talk up for a person, but this time I will. I want you to understand, when you make a decision pertaining to who you date and all this stuff, you got to make sure, is this someone that God wants you to be with? Did you pray about it? Did you consult with your family about it? Because right now, to be honest with you, right now, the one that was in the relationship with that person that ended up killing her, she's no longer here. But now we got to be able to face tomorrow without her. We got to face all this and all that. And that person know who did it. They know what they did. They very aware of what they did. And, all I can say is I wish what we went through on nobody. I wish that on nobody. And that's something that we got to live with for the rest of our life. Wow, that person is out free. But all I know is the God I serve sees all, knows all. And all I say is this. All I say is I put everything in God's hands. I put everything in God's hands. I'm not going to allow anything or anybody to stop me from serving God or doing what God has me to do. And that's for me to continue to preach the word, for me to be able to continue to inform people about who God is, and also what God or who God has for you. What and who God has for you. And also what and who God does not have for you. Yeah, so with that being said, I appreciate you all. I love you all, and I didn't want to spend too much time babbling, but I had to be on here for it being March the 3rd, and it just so happened to be on a Sunday. Oh yeah, I had to talk about it. So with that being said, I thank you all for y'all love and for y'all support, and once again, I thank God for my sister Sheila Prater. Beautiful, 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 fun, funny. And I remember as a kid I said this to her because we were always together, and she would always take care of me, and I was like Charlie Brown. She was Lucy. She was Maura Day. I was Jerome. She was Phineas. I was Ferb. She was Raggedy Ann. No, I was Raggedy Ann. She was Andy. We were the dynamic duo. She was Batman. I was Robin. So I'm very honored to have had Sheila in my life. And even though she's not physically here, the memories that I have, it will carry me over to my grave. Excuse me. Have a lot of memories. And so with that, my heart still hurts for those who are still hurting. And when I look at my other brothers, yes, I was selfish pertaining to Sheila. I was very selfish. That was my sister, that was my friend. And of course, she was saying the same thing, we had our little conversation, we had our private moments, and I appreciate it. I'm honored. I was like, and I'm gonna say this, and please don't be offended, don't take it the wrong way, but I was like the sister she never had, and I was like the brother that, well, I ain't gonna say she always wanted, because she had, 4 other brothers, but I knew who I was to her, and that's what gave me constellation. And what I tell people, if you have siblings, and I've had some to reach out to me and call me when it first happened, and I had people crying because they never would have wished to be in my shoes, and I wouldn't wish any of that on anybody. But I will say this: I've been so privileged, so honored to know what love is from a sibling that helped me to identify what love is from someone who's not my sibling, that could be my potential, wife. And I know, and that gives me the responsibility to make sure I make a wise decision pertaining to who I choose to date and ultimately marry. So I know what love is. I know what love looks like. And I thank Sheila for letting me know what that is, what that means, what it looks like, what it smells like, what it's not, what it is and what it isn't. So I thank you, and once again, Sheila, if if Sheila was here, she knew I had no problem telling her, hey, appreciate you, and love on her, and kiss on her, hug her, or whatever, and I'm just honored. So with that being said, I hope and pray that you have a great night. Get y'all some rest, and of course, those who were my Facebook friends when it first happened, thank y'all so much. And I know y'all may see some reminders, some memories tomorrow on Facebook, whatever like that, reminding y'all of, what happened in the polls or the comments y'all sent on March the 4th of 2019. And get this, y'all can look this up. When it turned midnight, it turned to March the 4th of 2019. And it was recorded being the coldest day of the year. The coldest day of the year. Sheila knew how to leave a mark. Sheila knew when to leave a mark on the coldest day of the year, March 4th. March 4th, on March 4th. And that's what we're going to do. Yeah. We're going to March 4th. We're going to March 4th. Continue the race that God has put us in. Continue the path. Continue the assignment that God has us in for. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all dearly. Thank y'all so, so much. And knowing that this is from my heart, I appreciate you all. Thank y'all for loving me, supporting me, but also thank y'all for loving God and loving Sheila Prater. So I thank y'all. Take care of yourself. I love y'all dearly. Be blessed. Oh, I got to show y'all this. This is this is Sheila's last picture that she took. She took a couple of hours before she left here. I was hoping I got a chance to let y'all see. There she is. There it is. Look at her. That was her last picture. So I'm gonna close with this picture. So take care of yourself. Thank you, Sheila. I love you, and we miss you. Take care of yourself. Thank you, and good night.